We're going to be learning the Yichud haChivarti. We have Baruch Hashem, a guest, haChivarti Talmud of Neil Berkowitz in America. So we're gonna learn Chavrusa and we're gonna record it. And I'm just telling you guys what's going on, so you shouldn't think I'm trying to make a show. Recording a shir. I'm gonna try to Be'ez Hashem. We'll try to learn the Yichud haChivarti. Be'ez Hashem. So we're gonna start in early. So we have on Amud Kuf Chaf Zayin. Kuf Chaf Zayin and Perikid Aleph. That's where we talk about the things that have to do with Yichud haChivarti. I'm going to start from there. I think, you know what? We should go from Kuf Chaf Dalit. Kuf Chaf Dalit. We'll start the Shah Arich Anpin. Start being Mevar the Arich. Parts of Arich Anpin, V'Rosh Tevis Aleph Aleph, Mekoimoy Mitabe Da'ak Ulemato. Arich is the beginning of Olam Atzilis. So now we're going to just try to understand. We know that there was a Kav. The Kav was Nimshach from the Ein Soif till the bottom of the Kav. From the Ein Soif till the bottom, till almost the bottom of the Chalal Panui that Hashem made. And that Kav has a Roish, it has Raglaim Kaviyachol. There's a place in that Kav, it's better said, there's a place in that Kav that's called Roish, there's a place in that Kav that's called Tabur, there's a place, and we're not talking about the Kav itself for sure, because the Kav is the Ein Soif. We're talking about Ak, Oilam Adam Kadmoin, Rashitevis Ak, that's Malbish on the Kav. And from the place that's called the Tibur, in English, belly button, Chas v'Sholem, Chas Melahasker, that there's such a thing in the Oilam Yisrael, but it's Mipsori Echze Leka. I mean, it's like Dama, we have to always be, we have to be chazer it all the time, over and over again, that all of our body, our, how do you call it, autonomy, is made in a way for us to understand the Olam Yisrael. But what do you mean? A goy also has a head and he has feet. That's right. That's the Bein Yisrael La'amin. A person could have all of these things inside of himself and he lives without mashmos. Another teretz, a yid has a bris milah, milah priya, which makes all of these chalakim conceptible. It becomes a concept of the Olam Yisrael. It becomes a manifestation of the Olam Yisrael. Masha'en kana arul, which doesn't have even a Yishmaeli that has a milah, but he doesn't have priya. The milah is not a real milah. It's without priya. It's not a. They don't have a real bris milah like the Zohar Kodesh says in Parshas V'Eira. We should see over there at the end of Parshas V'Eira, the Zohar Kodesh, exactly the whole sugya of Bnei Yishmael, all the nevuos of Bnei Yishmael, what's going to be with the Bnei Yishmael in the Achis Hayomim. Everything's over there. It's incredible. I learned with the Olam over here Shabbos, Friday night by the Tish, and everyone was mamish like they were thirsty to hear mamish divrei nevuah, exactly what we're going through now with the Bnei Yishmael. It's exactly what the Zohar Kodesh says. When their schus of the milah of Yishmael is going to end, which is a milah without priya, derech agav. Feel as though it's mashma that Yishmael didn't have priya. Avram Avinu only made priya for Yitzchak Avinu. So because of that, they have a schus to have some type of a chiz in Eretz Yisrael, and once that schus is going to finish, Hashem is gonna bring whatever. Kids, you understand the rest. Look, I and Sham. V'gam hu murkav mimau ben k'shar partzufim. Every partzuf from the partzufim elyonim, which is Atik, Arich. Oh, where's Atik? Where is Atik? If we're saying that Olam Atzilis starts at the tabur of Ak, that means above the tabur of Ak, says the Arizal, the Olam is ein misper, and the Arizal says we're not allowed to talk about them. The Mari Sruk has a whole Kabbalah of the Olamis that are above Olam Atzilis. So there's a machlokes, if you're allowed to learn Mari Sruk, if you're not allowed to learn Mari Sruk. The Rebbe Bar Yamachach Beshlita is very, very into Mari Sruk, that people that are holding, that know already Kabbalah Savi, are allowed to learn Mari Sruk, and it's even a Madrega, but again, there are Simuchim that the Baal Shem Tov took certain beginnes, certain things from Mari Sruk. The Rav Kappel, the Chassidim were more Messiachis, but again, it's not the Ikar limit. Ikar limit is limit Atzilis, limit Arizal. Mari Sruk is a bonus. Let's start with Ari. All of the Partzufim have Ma'u Ben. Ma'u Ben is the Bechin of Tchar v'Nuk. Ma is the Bechin of Tchar, and Ben is the Bechin of Anuk. If not, they wouldn't be able to have a Yichud. But in Atik really is not Toifis Mokim. That's what I was in my save. That means that there's a machlokes. If the Atik does take a place in Olam Atzilus or not, Pashtis, it's a makif and it doesn't take a place. That means that Olam Atzilus starts from parts of Arich. Atik doesn't, it's so high that it's not Toifis Mokim. There's no place for Atik. It's like a makif. The Atik that's outside of Arich is a makif for the whole Arich. And if there was no Ma'u Ben, then there can't be a Yichud. There has to be a Tchar V'nuk to be a Yichud. So there's Ma'u Ben like all of the other Patzufim, but it's different. Because here the Ma is in the Tzad Yamin of Arich, and the Ben is in the Tzad Smoil of Arich. And in Zohar Kodesh we see that it's different than the other Patzufim because it says there's no Nukva. She'ein shum bechinas Nukva, shu din ba'arich. Nukva is bechinas din. There's no din. Leis smaller b'hayatika. That's the lashon of the Idra. Leis smaller. There's no left. So if you're saying that the Ma is Yamin and the Ben is small, you're telling me that there is a left in Arich. So what does it mean? Hayatika, Atik in Idra b'derech klal. The Zohar Kodesh refers to Arich as Atik, and Atik he calls Atika Stimor or Atika Datikin. But when you say Atik Stam in Zohar Kodesh, b'derech klal in the Idra, the Rabbi b'derech klal is talking about Arich. So what? How do we miyashiv the stira? This is a kavana she'ena dochra v'anukva patzufim nefrodim like Abba v'ima v'zavinuk, where the ma'u ben are mamish nefrodim, the two bechinets, two aspects. Here they're mechubarim together. He says here the ma, that's the bechinat tchura, and the ben, that's bechinat nukva, are one part of they're always together. The Abba v'ima are also in a zivik tadiri. The zivik is zivugayu tadir. The zivik is always. But in Arich the mamish nechshav as one, and in Atik b'mamar amuzga. Yeah, I'm just saying in Atik the mamish one in a achdis nifla. There's some type of, I don't remember the exact lashon, but the meuchadim be'achdis nifla, something like that. U'memela gam b'chinas hanukva the Arich nechshav leduchra v'hu rachmim gmurim. Now we're gonna see how this lapshus of Atik with Arich work to understand the yisoidus of the Yichud haChivarti. The whole Yichud haChivarti is based on Shar Arich, and it can be learned in Oil Yisrael B'Kitzer, and then you can go to the Chelek Vav of Nekudas HaKesef, where he has the beer on the Yichud haChivarti, and today, Baruch Hashem, could say L'chaim Tovim L'Shulam, Daniel L'chaim. Kuf Pei Hey in Hebrew, kafe is Kuf Pei Hey. Pamayim Kuf Pei Hey is Shin Ayin Nahirin. Shin Ayin Nahirin. And they're also from Arich. The Shin Ayin Nahirin come from Arich. Why I say L'chaim? Because we're working on an idea to make English Yichudim cards. To make a card with two sides, one side with a Yichud, and to have an explanation in English, so it would be easy for people before they go into the mikvah. You have kavan some mikvah before you want to even say taking chatzos. You want to have a yichud in mind, so we have everything b'kitzur be'ez Hashem with English explanations. It'll be easier for people that hold with the shiurim to be able to do the yichudim halacha lemaisa and to bring sheifa elikus in the olam tachtonim, which is the yichud ma'aliyas k'moischa, to be makav the gula Hashem and berachmim g'dolim. We're now in Oil Yisrael Amud Kuf Chav Zayin. Kachab da'atik enam mislapshim ba'arich ampin machmas etzem oyem agadol. The gimel rishonis, kachab, chabad, kachbad, however you want to call them, of Atik, are not mislabish in arich because they're so high that they can't be in. It's like makif is always bigger than the pnimi, and why is he a makif? Because the kli is not soivel the oil. So too, even though there's no yachas of kli oil over here because it's a part of, but arich, the gard atik is so high that he can't go inside of it. I can't be mislabish inside of arich, so it stays on the outside. V'hine gimel rishonim is the atik shem kachab case of Chachmabina. Because they're so high and they're so zach, they're so pure. Agam that we're talking about Elokus, and we have no idea that when we're talking about Arich is also Kula Elokus, it's all Elokus, but there are levels of Tzimtzum. So the level of Tzimtzum in Arich Biyaches Ta'atik is a little bit more Mitzumtzum. So that's why the Atik can't fit in. And the Ein Soif is also less Mitzumtzum. Oilam is Akam are less Mitzumtzum than Atik, and the Ein Soif is less Mitzumtzum than anything that's Mislabish in Ak. V'gam Arich Atzmoi. And that's what we're talking about in the Esika Kavonis, that we always have to have the Ein Soif in mind. V'gam arich atzmoi eino yochel lekabel oiram machmas miet elkoi leumas atik. In comparison to atik, he can't be makabel the oir. V'lechen yisharu gar the atik megulim lishum levosh. V'nasu makif lepartzuf avich. So if you're going to ask the Kashya, how does Oil Matzidus start from parts of Arich, like David says in Eitz Chaim and Shavich, that we start from parts of parts of Arich at the Tibur of the Ak? You have Atik. Where's the Atik? Atik is also part of Oil Matzidus. It's not higher than Oil Matzidus. Teretz, it's a makif. V'oifen ha'yislabshis shel hazat Atik ba'arich u'b'shnei oifanim. The two ways that the Zayin Tachtoinis Datik, Malchis, which are mislabish in Arich, there are two ways that they're mislabish, and one way doesn't have they do have a kesher one with the other, but we have to understand that there are two different types of mislabishes. One is a bechina of He'ara Bereisha Darich, and they're called Zayin Tikune Gulgalta Darich. If we would take like an example of kaviyochel la'avdu elf avdolis electrolytes in somebody's brain, that's like those types of ha'oris, 7 ha'oris in the roish, in the gulgalta, inside the gulgalta of Arich. And the second bechina is this pashtusam. There is pashtus b'chol koimes Arich b'chinas is labshus mamish. Vinyan zeh mevay behetem mevay sha'arim. And I don't know if I say it here in the Sefer, but now we're saying a shir, you could say more. They really do have a kesha, because the 7 tikkune Golgalta are a lot more potent than the seven spheres that are mislabish inside of the Gufa Darich, because of their high bechina. What's their connection? So the Mefarshim say that the connection is that they are the shoroshim. There's a shorish. Everything that's below has a shorish above. Just like our goof below has a shorish in the Oilimis Elyonim, so the Oilimis in themselves have a shorish, and Oilimis higher than them, and those Oilimis have a shorish until Ein Soif, where there's no shorish and there's no anaf, it's just Ein Soif levader. Until all the shorish, everything is nisbatl in the Ein Soif. So they're the shoroshim. The Zayin Tikkunei Golgalta are the shoroshim of the other 7, or from the 7 spheres themselves. So the 7 spheres of Atik come b'fchinas shoroshim in the Golgalta Darich, and they're made of very, very strong oil, and then they're mamshich to be mislabish in Arich as spheres in the Gufa Darich. And now we're going to learn how it works. Yeah, it's clear?
Yeah.
Baruch Hashem. Gard Atik is called Reisha Delois Yada. That Gard Atik that we say is not, it's called Reisha Delois Yada, Radla.